Tashi and welcome to Tibet this week, where we bring you weekly news update on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let's have a look at today's headlines. His Holiness the Dalai Lama leads mass prayer service for victims of earthquake in Tibet. His Holiness the Dalai Lama arrives at Tashi Lhunpo Monastery in South India. Department of Education holds 8th Tibetan General Conference on Education. Kalon, Gyari meets German parliamentarians. Parliamentary support group for Tibet, Japan and Estonia express condolences to the victims of earthquake in Tibet. In the morning of Thursday this week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama led a prayer gathering at Tashi Lhunpo Monastery in the Tibetan settlement of Balakopi, Karnataka, for the victims of the recent devastating earthquake in Tibet. An estimated 12,000 people gathered in and around the temple at Tashi Lhunpo Monastery, where His Holiness is currently staying. The regions of Tibet struck most severely by the earthquake were Shikatse and Tingri. The principal monastery in Shikatse is Tashi Lhunpo, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, joining a large assembly to pray for the people of Shikatse and Tingri at established Tashi Lhunpo Monastery in South India is therefore considered especially propitious. Sending his prayers and condolences to the victims in Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama advised in seeking to transform adverse circumstances into an opportunity for growth and thus a stage on the path to enlightenment. Similarly, on Wednesday, the Central Tibetan Administration organized prayer service at the Tuklakang Temple in Dharamshala, expressing support and solidarity for the tragic loss of lives in the earthquake. During a prayer service, Sikyong Pembatsring questioned the effectiveness of China's poverty alleviation policies, noting the severe damage to older infrastructure, including traditional homes, during the earthquake. Sikyong praised the Tibetans coming forward in aiding the victims and urged Tibetan communities worldwide to hold prayer services for the victims' recovery and resilience. Right after receiving the devastating news of earthquake in Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama expressed deep sadness over the disaster and offered prayers for those who lost their lives and wished a swift recovery for the injured. The Kashak and the Tibetan Parliament in exile also issued statements expressing deep sorrow and heartfelt condolences and prayers to all those affected by this tragedy. Several leaders from the United States, Taiwan, India, France and the Netherlands expressed sympathies and solidarity with the Tibetans in Tibet in this time of hardship. Yamatani Eriko, chairperson of the Japan Parliamentary Support Group for Tibet, visited Tibet House, Japan to express solidarity with Tibetans affected by earthquake in Tibet. She lamented the loss of lives and property and prayed for a swift recovery. Representative Dr. Tsawangebo Arya briefed Yamatani on the situation, attributing the disaster to China's extensive dam building and mining activities, which scientists link to increased seismic risk. They also discussed issues such as colonial boarding schools and religious freedom in Tibet. The Tibet Support Group of Estonian Parliament called for the Chinese authorities to ensure the most transparent information sharing and smooth cooperation with international humanitarian aid organization and independent journalists, the Estonian government and the European Union to monitor the situation closely and to be ready to offer diplomatic and humanitarian support. The Tibet Support Group acknowledged the rescue workers who operate in harsh mountainous conditions and expresses its sincere condolences to the relatives of those who lost their lives. The support group will continue to monitor the situation and will do its best to draw attention to what is happening in Tibet and international cooperation needed for the victims. The epicenter of Tuesday's earthquake was located in Tingri County of Shikatse city in Tibet. The earthquake, which was recorded just after 9 a.m. on 7 January 2025, was recorded as a 7.1 magnitude by the U.S. Geological Survey, while the Chinese authorities recorded a magnitude of 6.8. Up until January 9th, at least 126 people were killed, more than 100 injured, with many more hundreds trapped. Freezing weather conditions in the region continues to pose a serious concern and the urgent need for effective rescue efforts to prevent further hardship. According to 2020 population census, there are 60,000 residents in Gyari County, that is at an altitude of 4,200 meters above sea level. The mountainous region of Tibet that borders Nepal reportedly experienced several aftershocks after 10 a.m. on January 7th. The three areas surrounding Gyari County, such as Tramso, Chulo, Tsogo, also suffered high number of deaths, casualties and destruction. 29 earthquakes of over magnitude 3 were recorded in the region's 2,200 kilometers from Shikatse city's epicenter in the last 5 years. In 2010, the earthquake in Kegudo, Tibet, with magnitude of 7.1 took 2,698 lives and 12,135 injured. Last year, a series of 4 earthquakes were reported in Medokungar, Tibet, recording magnitude of 4.0, 4.7 and 4.6. With many major mining, damming and infrastructural activities being implemented on a large scale by the Chinese government in Tibet, reports of massive landslides, floods and earthquakes in Tibet continue to make headlines. On Friday, 3rd January, His Holiness the Dalai Lama left Dharamshala to Balakopi Tibetan settlement in the southern India to take this winter sojourn where the climate is predominantly warmer. His Holiness stayed a night in Delhi and Bengaluru en route to Balakopi, where he reached on 5th January boarding helicopter that flew him to the settlement. His Holiness arrived at Digilase football field, where he was welcomed by Mysore district officials, the abbot of Tashi Lhunpo Monastery and representatives from the southern Tibetan settlements. As he travelled the 5.5 kilometer to Tashi Lhunpo, Tibetans including monks, nuns, lay people, elderly in wheelchairs and children with special needs lined the route with silk scarves and incense. Monks played traditional instruments while the Balakopi opera troupe performed dances and songs. At Tashi Lhunpo Monastery, His Holiness was welcomed by the abbot of the monastery, the Gandeti Rinpoche and the former Gandeti Rinpoche, who greeted him warmly. His Holiness, during his address to the gathering, expressed his delight in visiting Tashi Lhunpo Monastery, which was founded by Gelwa Gendu Drup. The first Dalai Lama, now re-established in exile, continues his tradition of excellence in Buddhist philosophy and logic. Furthermore, His Holiness said monasteries should serve as centers of learning, enabling monks and nuns to study and practice the teachings. As per the circular announced on Monday, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has granted public blessings for residents of South Tibetan settlement, giving priority to people of age 80 years old on alternative days, followed by a public blessing for foreigners. More than 200 Tibetan educators and school administrators gathered in Dharamshala this week for the 8th Tibetan General Conference on Education organized by Department of Education, Central Tibetan Administration. Held at Sikyong Hall, the event focused on sharing the future of Tibetan education system. Education Secretary Jingmin Namgye reviewed progress on past resolutions and urged attendees to collaborate on impactful strategies for improving Tibetan education. Kalon Thalamdoma Changra outlined the priorities such as consolidating schools, integrating social, emotional and ethical learning, adopting student-centered teaching and addressing special needs education and technology challenges. Speaker Khenpo Sonam Tempel reflected on Tibet's monastic education heritage, highlighting the importance of teacher-student bonds and the values of learning, contemplation and meditation. In his keynote address, Sigyompempa Tsering highlighted challenges such as declining student numbers in Indian Tibetan schools due to immigration and called for accurate data collection to design effective educational programs. He stressed a zero-tolerance policy against gender-based sexual violence in schools and proposed discussions to standardize teachers' salaries across institutions. Over the course of 3-day 8th Tibetan Journal Conference on Education, consultants namely Geshe Laudor, Director of the Library of Tibetan Works and Archives, Professor Anil Mamen, Professor of Practice at the Center of Excellence in Teacher Education, Dr. Sonam Gelten, former Tibetan Parliamentarian and the incumbent Senior Professor of College for Higher Tibetan Studies, Sara, and Diwolhamo Pemba, AMI primary trainer, made presentations on various topics pertaining to the conference. From January 5 to 8, Central Tibetan Administration Security Kalon Gyari conducted an official visit to Germany, engaging with key political and academic figures. In Munich, she met Martin Hagen, German Free Democratic Party parliamentarian, and in Stuttgart, Renata Alt, head of the Human Rights Division in Germany's Foreign Affairs Committee. She also attended the Free Democratic Party Epiphany meeting, where she interacted with over 100 attendees, including former Finance Minister Christian Lindner, who expressed strong support for Tibet, and Ghanshyam Tiwari, the Samajwadi Party's national spokesperson from India. Additionally, Kalon Gyari visited the Global Ethics Institute at Eberhard Karls University of Tübingen, where she met Professor Hans-Christoph Ries and Julius Granke and discussed the institution's activities. She also visited the historic Hambach Castle, a symbol of German democratic reform, and met Ralf Stuber, an FDP candidate for the 2025 elections. On Wednesday, she toured the Mans Industrial Institute for Vocational Training and the University of Applied Science Mans, highlighting advancement in technical and scientific education. Kalon Gyari was accompanied by Undersecretary Dawa Dolma throughout her visits. That is all the news for this week's edition of Tibet This Week. Thank you so much for watching.